Finding My Mom Voice by Kristen Nevarez Schweizer. My son tried to kill me on October 20th, 2017. Well, okay. Medical professionals still do not know for sure what causes a placental abruption, but I suspect my impatient baby boy decided to use his newly formed fingernails to claw himself out of me. With an oxygen mask strapped across my face and a monitor beeping in my ear, the doctors could not hear me murmur, "I'm not mom enough for this." Months prior, when my doctor asked me who he should prioritize in an emergency, my unborn child or myself, I said, "Save the boy. I'll go to heaven before my hair goes gray, and he can deal with climate change." Days prior, when my friends asked me if I was ready to become a parent, I said, "Of course. I got a theater degree at a party school. Not only can I handle a naked, incoherent boy screaming about his bodily functions, I can write a thesis about it." I wield quippy non-answers to combat my fear. Even strangers can tell from my high-strung sing-song cadence that I'm shoving down anxiety with nervous laughter. My husband can clock it on the first syllable, and he knows that tone means I'm afraid and forcing myself through the words. But on October 20th, 2017, long after the nurses had stopped pretending to chuckle at my nonsense, a serious new doctor entered my hospital room. And she did not take the time to introduce herself before reaching gloved hands into the depths of me. So I was glib with God. "If you let us both live, I'll stop giving my ex-boyfriend's name to telemarketers." A better mother would have offered a more noble prayer. A better mother would have reverently petitioned the Lord to spare her son with no thought to her own life. But I was not a better mother. I was not even a mother yet. I'd spent months being afraid. I was completely unprepared to become a parent. And then the unnamed doctor told me my son wasn't getting enough oxygen. Then, "You're ready, so we think it'll be easier for you to push him out than try to prep you for an emergency C-section, if you're strong." The doctor told me I was ready, so I said, "I am strong," even though I had never before used that word to describe myself. But after I said it, I believed it, and it became true. I delivered my son safely into this world on my second push, and they placed Victor James on my heaving chest, and I cut the umbilical cord. He squirmed under the bright lights, a familiar rhythm from his time within me. Instinctively, I shielded his eyes. Again, I spoke with this unrecognizable authority in a tone that was not my performance voice. I said, "Please turn off the lights. It's too bright in here for him." When the lights were dim, he opened his eyes. I'm told he couldn't see much of anything yet, but I knew he could hear me. I'd been talking to him for 36 weeks, so he had to know who I was. "Oh, hey you." "Oh, hey me," I realized. This is my mom voice.
Kristen, you just had your piece, Finding My Mom's Voice, performed on stage. How do you feel?
I feel great. It was really special to release the words to someone else. And also, Maybelle was one of my students when I was a high school theater teacher. So I felt extra seen to have someone I trusted with the words and to hear the audience respond to them. And it was
Tell us
really
a little
cool.
bit about what it's been like working your piece, getting it ready for stage tonight, and working with the editors and the whole memoir showcase rewriting process? How's that been?
It's been amazing. It's really exciting as someone who writes in journalism and nonfiction to be writing something true and meaningful, but that still has a story form. So it's exciting to learn from the editors and to take notes from other writers, and then also to see it said rather than read. It was just a whole new form, and it was very exciting.
If writers were on the fence about turning in a story to the memoir showcase, what would you tell them?
You never feel ready. It's like having a kid. You never feel ready, you just do it, and then you realize you were.
Maybelle, how do you feel after performing for your former teacher?
It feels amazing. I was so honored when Kristen reached out to me and asked me to audition. It's been a few years since we've been in touch, and it just really touched me to know that I was in your mind, and that like the years of our high school theater department, like they came back for me, you know? It felt really magnificent.
Any feelings about pressure with her in the audience tonight?
Oh,
you don't get
know,
to perform for writers very often, right?
Not often. I actually don't mind performing in front of writers. I like it. I like performing for the writers often. So I often do new works and stuff where the playwrights are in the audience like the whole run of the show, and it doesn't typically faze me. I think it's because I have a little experience as a writer myself, so I know how it feels. Actually, yeah. When I was in high school, I wrote plays, and Kristen's theater department is what produced the plays I wrote, so I know what it's like to be on both sides.
And how does it feel to come back for your third time?
Oh my gosh, amazing. I'm so glad you guys are still running, and like I'd fallen out of touch with the San Diego Writers Inc. for a little bit just because of the pandemic. So I was so happy to hear that you guys are still doing shows and that I got to come back again.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.